a wealthy man. I don't know if you heard about him. He had banks on his name. He had so much money in his safes. He had money, he had gold, he had bonds, he had whatever you want. Even the kings trusted him and asked from him for loans and money and stuff. He never thought of acting this way and feeling superior on others. That people should ask him for permission to pray or wait for him until he comes and then start praying. It was very weird. So the next morning he sees the same thing. Everybody's here, and this Chaim Zelig was the name of this rich man. Is not there yet. So he waits. Oh, Baruch Hashem, he came. They start praying, and as he goes, one of the people that go to the Torah was this Rothschild. He didn't say who he is. He goes to the Torah, and as they ask for the donation, he says, whatever your rich Chaim Zelig has in this town, I will give, I don't know, all his amount, all his asset, all his cash, all whatever he has, the money, I'll give 100 times more. Donation for the community. Oh wow, really? We're talking about millions and millions of dollars. And they start calculating the people. What we're going to do with this money? We're going to open another fund, and another thing, and another thing, another thing. Fine. So Shabbat leaves, everybody says goodbye. He goes and he sends his inspector over to see how much money has this Chaim Zelig in this town to give 100 times more. So he starts to investigate. He starts to ask people how much money he has. Realizes something interesting. This rich man, what he did was he made sure that his children and his son-in-laws, okay, they took over some funds that he himself opened. They collect taxes from the rich people and they give it to him, and he opens with all these funds, and it looks like the whole town belongs to him. He owns the shul, he owns all these funds, he owns, the who dies and who buries and where they bury him and how much money, and it looks like he takes care of all this gemachim that there is in this town, Gemilut Chasadim, but he really doesn't give so much. So the people are waiting and waiting and waiting for this Rothschild to give them some donation, and he doesn't come. They realize that this rich man never really gave donations. He lived. He was sucking the community, okay? Made look like he gives everything. It says, "Mi sheyesh lo lo mitgaeh." Whoever had is not feeling proud of himself or arrogant. U'mi she'en lo, u'vemi shemitgaeh en lo. Whoever feels too much about himself, he's the one that he doesn't have it. Because see, this Rothschild has so much and never felt that he needs to boast around or to get respect and to get honors. And people who don't have, this is when they feel that they need to get this respect, they need to get this attention. So I read something interesting today. Chazal say במדרש רבה, רבי יהושע דסכנין בשם רבי לוי אומר, they ask the Prat is a river in Iraq. They ask the Prat, this river, למה אין קולך הולך? Why people don't hear the voice of your water? Usually the Prat is a quiet river. That's what they say. So the Prat answers, I don't need it because ma'asai modi'in li. My deeds announced to everyone who I am. If somebody plants, let's say a tree over there, within 30 days already he has fruits in there. If somebody plants some vegetables, within 3 days already there's fruit, there's vegetables there. And then they ask another river in Iraq, which is called Chidekel. למה קולך הולך? Why? Well, the Chidekel, as opposed to the Prat, makes a lot of noise, too much noise. And he says, "Halvai nishma koli." I wish people will hear about me, because this river there's no really good deeds over there. Same would be with, they asked about trees. They ask fruitful trees. לאן כולכם הולך? Something like that. And they say, we don't need our voice to be heard because our deeds, whatever, the fruits that comes from us, this is announced about me. The ilan, the fruit that comes from the tree, says already who I am. But ilanot srak means are trees that doesn't have any fruit. Chaval, miskenim, there's nothing there. In Hebrew, when you go to school here and you learn Proverbs, there's something that's it's Aramaic from Baba Metzia. It says, "Isra balagina kish kish karya." Whenever you have a small box and there's only one coin of money inside, you shake it, it makes so much noise. But if even a whole barrel would be full of coins of money, it won't make so much noise. Because when people are full, they don't need to make too much noise. When people are empty, this is when they make you know who I am? They make too much noise. It says something interesting. Harav Astapel Zatzal, he wrote a book, and one of the articles that he wrote in that book, he writes about the doves that King Herod used to raise.
Doves?
Doves. King Herod, he ruled in Israel in the Second Temple. The last 100 years, the less than 100 years of the Temple, this is King Herod. He was the one that improved the Second Temple. He beautified the Second Temple. So, but he was like a tyrant. He was sick in his mind because he was a slave. Initially he was a slave, and he rebelled and he became a king. He wasn't from Bet Hashmonai, but he wanted to become a king, and he became. He had so much inferior feelings that he wanted to control everybody, and everybody would announce that he's the king. So what he used to do, he raised this type of doves, okay? He put 16 doves, okay, in 2 lanes next to his palace, in a 1 mile, I don't know how big it was, this line, 16 doves for a mile long. And these doves used to make, coo, they make, in their language it was kira, it was a king called. King. He wants everybody, every day and night, these doves to announce, I'm a king, here's the king. See how crazy was this guy, Herod? King Horus. And this is when people, they don't have enough self-esteem, and they want to get it forcefully from people. So was this guy, another example, went outside to the field with his little son. He wanted to show him which bundles of wheat we pick, which bundles of wheat we don't pick. And they come to a very tall one, and the boy is telling to the father, probably this one we pick up, right? Because it looks so tall and it's nice. The father didn't say anything. And then they come and they see one that is so bending and almost falling, and the boy says to his father, probably this one we don't pick, right? Look at this, it's not a nice one. The father says the opposite. The tall one is empty, is nothing there, and therefore it can raise up and stand like proudly. But the heavy one, because it has so much seeds inside, it's so heavy that it's bending because it's heavy. And this one is the one that we need to pick, right? So this is when we speak about Ga'ava. Now, just to summarize this, when the pride is a good, because we speak about midot, midah means it's a measure. Not that necessarily always it's not good, sometimes it's good. When this midah, this quality of ga'ava, of pride, of arrogance, when is it good? It says that, that Paro, king of Egypt, he was very, very also, he was a tyrant, also he felt too much good about himself. He thought he's God, he thought he invented whatever. So Hashem wants to kill a bit his spirit. Hashem tells Moshe, get up early in the morning and go, I want you to speak to Paro. Where Paro, he made himself like God. He didn't want people to know that he needs to go to the bathroom like the rest of the people. So Hashem tells Moshe, goes to Paro next to the Nile, because this is where he's hiding now. V'hityatzeb, stand up, and don't be afraid of him. Stand up. Or Chaim explains that you shouldn't be afraid of him. You should come with so much confidence. You should stand and don't bend yourself or don't feel inferior or I'm coming and I'm begging you, please send my people from here. No, you have to demand, you have to ask. Okay? Don't be afraid. This is what Hashem tells him. And this order is not a simple order, because Paro, he was very, very smart. He knew how to rule his people. Everybody that has to come into his palace, into his chamber, the entrance was very, very low. Lower than a human being's. He was himself also very, very short. He was 1 meter high, less than a meter. So, but he made people. He didn't want people to feel that they're higher than him, taller than him. He made them go into this opening, doorway, which is very, very low, to make them feel lower than him. This how was Paro. Now, if you remember in the Midrashim, Moshe was a very, very tall man. Yes. Very tall man. And now how this Moshe is going to go inside and bend himself and lower himself to go to Paro. So Hashem made a miracle. And he made this opening so high that Moshe didn't have to bend down. This is Hityatzeh. Stand up. Don't be afraid. Don't feel embarrassed. Feel good about yourself. This is Hityatzeh b'fnei Paro. It says that a story, when the Nazis, they came into Greece. Okay, we know that they ruled all over Europe almost. When they came to Greece, so there was this family over there, Calderon family, that ran away from them and found a place of hiding in a far, far away village that not so many people lived there on top of one mountain, and they thought that the Nazis won't get so deep into that village and search for them.
What was that of the family?
Calderon.
Calderon?
And they did. The Nazis came one day, they hear motorcycles outside, 2 motorcycles, 4 SS soldiers coming out. Get out. They get out of that place and they start to investigate the father. And they say that they will come, they took them from that house and they put them, they gather, usually they used to gather people in one place, and this is when they gather this, they send these people over too. The next morning they come, they open the door, they want to investigate Chaim Calderon, the father of the house. Chaim says, it's early in the morning, what's your problem? I didn't daven yet and I didn't put my tefillin yet. First I put my tefillin yet. So this is the SS guy is saying, you know who you're talking to? What happened to you? You have to come with us, no questions asked. He said, hello, says Chaim Calderon. I fought in the other war, and I'm not afraid of you. I saw so many deaths, so many people died in my own hands, and I'm not afraid of you, I'm afraid only of Hashem. I will put now tefillin. If you want, you will wait. They will wait. They didn't say anything. They let him do it. They let him put on his tefillin. And then they took him to investigation or whatever. In the evening he came back. And the next morning again, one of the SS come and he talks to him and tells him, yesterday you had so much chutzpah and also confidence. I liked it. It was very, very interesting.
SS guy
telling him that. And so at that moment, this Chaim, he prepared himself a cigarette, some kind. And so he offered this to the SS guy. And they start talking. And Chaim tells this guy, tells him, you know, your fear is crazy. He wants to control everything. He does things wrong. For your own benefit, he tells him, don't do all whatever he tells you to do. You take care of your family. You get escape whenever you can and come back to your family, because nothing good is going to come out of this war, I'm telling you. So they were talking, whatever. And sometime later, this SS guy comes back to Chaim and he tells him, listen, in 2 days we're going to get away. And I'm warning you, I want you to be safe. Don't leave your house. Don't let your household people get roam in the streets or whatever, because it's going to be very dangerous. He said, fine, they stayed home. And whatever he said happened. Before they left, these Nazis, they burned out the whole houses in that little town. They burned all the
Bridges.
all the bridges, whatever were there, and left town, left only one house standing. This is the house of Chaim Calderon. This Nazi made sure that they won't touch it. When people are strong and they're not afraid, he is proud of whenever you're doing a mitzvot, you're proud of yourself. You see sometimes miracles. It's amazing. So, till now we spoke about Gava. I wanted to speak about humility, but I don't think we have the time because it's getting late. B'ezrat Hashem next time. So we try to get away as much as we can from Gava. And now as we stand next to the high holidays and the Rosh Hashanah, we know that Hashem gives us life. We know that Hashem will, B'ezrat Hashem, write and sign us in Sefer of Chaim Tovim.
Yeah.
It's not us. So please, do whatever you can. Ask Hashem, pray, and make other people, family and children understand that Hashem is the one that gives life and energy and goodness and everything. And B'ezrat Hashem, Hashem will sign all of us to Chaim Tovim, to Shana Tova, Shana Ma'usheret, B'ezrat Hashem. Thank you so much. God bless you.